Sorry about that. Okay, so what's the probability that a measurement lies within 1 standard deviation of the mean and 2 standard deviation from the mean? Okay, so if you're 1 standard deviation, okay, so we're going to be 14.5 millimeters per mercury away. Okay, so we're going to take, so 124.7, subtract the 14.5. Just give me 1 second. Calculator, where'd it go? So it's 110.2. So this would be 1 standard deviation lower than the mean. Subtract 124.7 over so you answer negative 1.2. Okay, and then so we want 1 standard deviation from the mean, so it could be above or below. Okay, so we have z equals, now we want to go 1 standard deviation above. So we're doing 124.7 plus 14.5. Oops. Goodness. So get 139.2, subtract 4. I just realized I did the first one wrong. Okay, so we get positive 1 for this one. So I wrote this one wrong here. This should have been 124.7. So this should have been a negative 1. So which makes sense. So I remember in the last chapter, so I said the z-score tells you how many standard deviations you are away. So there was one question. So if you're 1 standard deviation away, you are a negative 1 or a positive 1. Okay, so now, but we want the probability. So we found the z-scores. Okay, so we do 1 standard deviation below the mean, which is negative 1, and 1 standard deviation above the mean is positive 1. Okay, and then I told you yesterday's lesson, if we have a range, we're going to do the z-scores, find 2 z-scores, and we're going to subtract them. Okay, so we go to the table for both of these. Okay, so we go for positive 1. So positive 1 here is 8413. So 0.8413. Okay, and then negative 1 is 0.1587. Okay, now we're going to subtract them. So 0.8413 subtract 0.1587. And we get an answer of 68. So roughly we're going to round it to 68%, 0.68 or 68%. Okay, so whenever, this is always going to be the answer. So if there's ever a question that says, what is the probability from 1 standard deviation away, it's always going to be 68%, always. Okay, so all measurements within 1 standard deviation from the mean is always 68%. Okay, I'm not going to do all the math for 2 standard deviations, But for 2 standard deviations, it's always 95%. Okay, so it's always going to be 95%. 95% of the data is going to be 2 standard deviations away from the mean. Okay, just double checking to make sure it's 95. Yes. Okay, so 68% are within 1 standard deviation, 95% are within 2 standard deviations. Last one. What is the probability of a blood pressure higher than 145? Okay, so again, probability. So we're doing Z-score. So 145 subtract 124.7 over 14.5. So 145 minus 124.7 equals divided by 14.5. So we get 1.4. Okay, so 1.4 is the Z-score. Now we go to the table. Table for 1.4 is 0.9192. Or let's just round it to 92%. Okay, but this value, this score is 100, and this is for 145, that value and less than that value. So it's all the probability of hitting 145 or less. The question says, what is it for higher? Okay, so we want higher than, so what we do is we subtract it from 100. So we get 100% minus 92 gives us 8%. Okay, so that is the lesson today. Homework is here. Page 349, 1 to 4, 6 to 8, and number 11. Okay, I'm just double checking these questions. 3. I put something in my notes. When you're doing number 11, do it as you were doing the questions for 7.2. Okay, so don't do it like this. For number 11, do it as you would for the last section, 7.2. Okay, I hope everyone is doing well, and I'll have some updated marks hopefully tomorrow's Friday, so by tomorrow. Okay, hope everyone is well. Take care. Bye.